in this lesson, we'll use a couple of different variations that we've already created in order to create a nice base for our surprise expression. Alright, so here we've got our angry face that we just created. Let's look at some of the things that we need to do to create a kind of a surprise. So we need to open up the eyebrows and eyes. We also need to kind of bring this face together a little bit more. And one of the ways that we can do this is to actually create a new base by morphing between this geometry and some geometry that we've already created. So what we're going to do is take our subtool, or our main subtool here of the face, and let's go ahead and dial it down to level 2 where we've been exporting our OBJ files, if you've been exporting those. And let's go ahead and import an OBJ. But first thing we're going to do is take our morph target right down here, and I'm going to store a morph target. That's going to store this sort of facial pose right here. So now I'm going to import, and let's import the sad face because it has some of the aspects that we're looking for. So you can see how that now switches down. You can go down to your morph target and switch those back and forth. What you can also do is dial this morph in between the two, and that's what we want to do. We want to get the mouth open, but we want to have more of this kind of shape to be able to get the sort of base that we want. So we can come in and kind of morph this until we get the mouth a little bit closer to what we want. Okay. Dial that in a little bit more. And then once we've got that dialed in to create a little bit more of a base, because it'd be a little bit harder to get that pinch back after we'd opened that mouth up, to get the pinch back the way that it was before. So we're able to morph between these two and get kind of a combination between them. And once we're done with this, we can go ahead and delete our morph target. And you can see I can still dial up that resolution, and all of that detail is still there. Okay, and now we have kind of a quick base to build off of. Alright, so for our surprise, let's go ahead and really show it in the eyes here. So grab the move brush and turn on symmetry for now. We'll start at the lower levels, and let's go ahead and bring these eyebrows up. Dial that up again. Really get those brows a nice arch. Okay. And go ahead and size up some of these wrinkles here on the forehead. Okay, let's go ahead and open the eyes all the way, as wide as we can get them. So I'll start that on level 1. Back to the move brush. Just open those up. You can see it's tearing away from the eyelid a little bit, so we can move that back in. This down a little bit. Go to the other eye and we'll do the same thing. And this will be more of a kind of a shocked surprise. I'm going to open those up quite a bit. Okay, you can see already we're kind of getting that look, but let's go ahead and work on the mouth a little bit more. I'm going to grab the sides of the mouth and move those down a little bit. You can work with your wireframe or not. Bring that lip out. And if you don't want that asymmetry in there, you can bring that lip up. Let's go ahead and bring that down. And since we brought this up in our rage, we can bring this down, really get a good view of those eyes. Bring this lift down. Let's maybe do it on the other side this time. Dial up and down our geometry to check these things out. Now this is getting a little bit soft in there, so try to tighten that up a bit. Tighten that mouth up a little. Again, a lot of this is just kind of how you think things are looking. And we'll go to our standard brush and bring back those folds in there. And let's pull back the corners of the mouth just a little as well. Same thing on this side. And if we want to open up the whole area, just give a big brush size and kind of open that whole thing up a bit. Divide up a couple times so you can see it. Okay, obviously the teeth still need to be dealt with, so again, just like we did before, to view that we can look at our frame. And we can now, since these are all separated, we can just mask those off. And go to our move. And let's turn symmetry off. And just put those up there like that. And let's go ahead and rotate them a little bit too. Okay. And go ahead and dial that geometry up and take a look at it. Turn our frame off. And that's sort of a shocked, surprised look. And again, looks like we need to kind of smoothen things out up here. If you've got the eyebrows going up, you want to spread this out a little bit. You can see I've got it a little bit too tight in here, because these are kind of pulled at an angle a bit, and they're furrowed together. So when these are out like this, you want to have a little bit more space between them. Okay. Smooth out some of that. Take out some of that furrowing right there. That we added. Just by smoothing that out. Okay. And there we've got a surprise face. So we were able to create the base of that very quickly, just combining two shapes that we already had, our angry shape and then our sad shape. Now, the way we've been doing things up to now has kind of been kind of fun, and we're able to build an expression really quickly and do it all at once. But it's not all that useful once you start to wanting to animate. If you want to combine these in different ways and make different variations, it becomes less useful to do each expression as its own individual shape. Whereas if you're doing something like a still, single frame or something like that, it's a lot more useful. You can really customize it. But if you're doing something for animation, you definitely want to start to build things in pieces. So in the next lesson, we'll come in and look at, within ZBrush, how we can start to build some of these shapes within pieces so that we can dial in multiple shapes just from the shapes that we've sculpted. So we can dial in multiple expressions. So let's go ahead and look at how we can do that in the next lesson.